Just one day after Williams' last podium sitter, George Russell, got disqualified from the Belgian Grand Prix, Williams found their newest driver. Now, George Russell has nothing to do with this, ironically. I just wanted to bring up that was the last time they got a podium. But Carlos Sainz, after much speculation, rumors, reports, he will be joining Williams in 2025 and beyond. Williams just announced a few minutes ago that Sainz would be joining their team, replacing Logan Sargeant. It is Logan Sargeant, unfortunately. But yes, we're going to read this press release, and then I will give you some of my thoughts on the signing. With a decade of F1 competition under his belt, Sainz will join Williams from Scuderia Ferrari on a 2-year agreement with options to extend. Williams Racing today announces that Carlos Sainz will complete the team's driver lineup for the 2025 FIA Formula One World Championship season and beyond. With a decade of F1 competition under his belt, Sainz will join Williams from Ferrari on a 2-year agreement with options to extend. In his Formula One career to date, the 29-year-old Spaniard has achieved 3 victories, 23 podiums, and over 1,100 career points, and is currently sitting 5th in this season's Drivers' Championship. After becoming the only non-Red Bull Racing driver to achieve a race victory in 2023, Sainz most recently took victory at this year's Australian Grand Prix just 10 days after surgery for appendicitis and has scored 4 further podiums so far this season. Carlos will race alongside Alex Albon for Williams Racing for 2025 and into the new F1 regulations era as the formidable pairing look to spearhead the team's mission to return to the front of the grid. He will continue to race using number 55. Williams would also like to thank Logan Sargeant for his hard work and dedication over the past 2 years. As a graduate of the Williams Driver Academy, Logan became the first U.S. driver to score a point for 30 years when he finished 10th in Austin last year and has played a fundamental role in developing the team. Williams will give Logan every support as he looks to continue his racing career for 2025 and beyond. Then we have some quotes here from Carlos Sainz and James Vowles. Sainz said, "I am very happy to announce that I will be joining Williams Racing from 2025 onwards. It is no secret that this year's driver market has been exceptionally complex for various reasons, and that it has taken me some time to announce my decision. However, I am fully confident that Williams is the right place for me to continue my F1 journey, and I am extremely proud of joining such a historic and successful team, where many of my childhood heroes drove in the past and made their mark on our sport. The ultimate goal of bringing Williams back to where it belongs at the front of the grid is a challenge that I embrace with excitement and positivity. I am convinced that this team has all the right ingredients to make history again, and starting on January 1st, I will give my absolute best to drive Williams forward alongside every single team member. I want to thank James Vowles and the entire board of Williams for their trust and determination. Their solid leadership and convictions have played an important role in my decision-making. I truly believe that the core of every successful team lies amongst their people and their culture. Williams is synonymous with heritage and pure racing. The foundations of the project that lies ahead of us are very strong, and I am looking forward to being part of it starting next year." Vowles said, "Carlos joining Williams is a strong statement of intent from both parties. Carlos has demonstrated time and again that he is one of the most talented drivers on the grid with race-winning pedigree, and this underlines the upwards trajectory we are on. Carlos brings not just experience and performance, but also a fierce drive to extract every millisecond out of the team and car. The fit is perfect. In Alex and Carlos, we will have one of the most formidable driver lineups on the grid and with huge experience to guide us into the new regulations in 2026. Their belief in this organization's mission demonstrates the magnitude of work going on behind the scenes. People should be in no doubt about our ambition and momentum as we continue our journey back to competitiveness. We are here, we are serious, and with Dorilton's, maybe I pronounced that wrong, if so, apologies, backing, we are investing in what it takes to return to the front of the grid. I also want to thank Logan for everything he has done for the team and know he will continue to fight hard for us in the races ahead." Obviously, a lot to talk about here. We got 2 drivers' futures we got to talk about. Let's talk about Carlos Sainz first. Obviously, Carlos Sainz has been in the driver market since February when Lewis Hamilton shockingly announced that he would go to Ferrari and replace Sainz. As a result, Sainz obviously has had a lot of time to kind of think about this decision, figure out where he's gone. There's been a lot of open seats, obviously. There was a time that the Red Bull seat was open, and it might become open again. But anyways, that's for a different day. And then there's that Mercedes seat that Lewis Hamilton left vacant, of course. But then there's also been, some backmarker mid-pack teams that have had open seats, one of them being Williams. Williams, of course, has had Alex Albon the past couple of years. They've revived his career in a sense. Albon spent, what was it? I don't think he was there, half a season, a year and a half at Red Bull. He was at AlphaTauri for a bit there. So he had a short career in that Red Bull seat, and then he got booted out, took a year off, or was forced to take a year off, really, and came back to Williams, where he has performed excellent. But then that second seat, Nicholas Latifi was in it for a bit, Logan Sargeant was in it, and now Carlos Sainz has his opportunity at Williams to try, as I said multiple times in this press release, to bring them back to the front. I think it's going to be a tall task. With 2026, you never know with the new regulations, but ultimately, I think this is a bigger win for Williams to get a driver of Sainz's caliber, a multi-time Grand Prix winner, a guy who's been consistently fighting for podiums, who's raced at Ferrari, McLaren, Renault, multiple teams throughout the years, that they get someone like that. They've had a lot of young drivers over the past few years. The last podium was George Russell in 2021. The last win was freaking Pastor Maldonado in 2012. So it's been a while since they've had success. It's been a long while since they've had top tier success. You have to go back to the early 2000s for that. Juan Pablo Montoya, NASCAR legend. But Williams, they want to go to the front of the grid, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a struggle. I still think it is. They're ninth in the constructors right now. They only have 4 points to their name. But as I said, this is a really good driver lineup. Alex Albon has proved that he is a capable driver in F1. Carlos Sainz, as I said, is a very good, very underrated driver. I think there's a reason he's still in F1 despite getting dropped from Ferrari. And I know he didn't get a top drive. I know that's what he wanted. But, maybe he can build his way back up to it. Or maybe Williams does hit the 2026 regulations. As for Logan Sargeant, as I said earlier, it's Logan Sargeant. Tough scene for Sargeant. I liked him. Obviously, as an American, I wanted to see him succeed, but just didn't work out. It was a tough rookie year, and I thought, maybe if they give him a second year, he can maybe do better. But it's been a little bit of a struggle this year, too. He's had his moments. He's had a couple good races, couple good qualifying sessions, but obviously it wasn't enough for Williams to keep him on the team, so they were replacing him with Carlos Sainz. What he does next, I don't think he's in F1 anymore. Rumors are saying IndyCar, maybe. I don't know. But as for how this impacts the rest of the drivers market, obviously there's still a couple seats open, but the big one obviously is Mercedes. And I think that answers the Mercedes question. If Mercedes was going to sign a veteran like Sainz, or if they were going to steal someone like Fernando Alonso, which obviously we know Alonso's staying at Aston Martin, that would mean that Kimi Antonelli, the young prospect, the highly regarded, highly talented prospect that's been in the Mercedes kind of ranks for quite a while now, it was either going to be he goes straight to Mercedes out of F2, or he goes at Williams for a year or two to kind of develop, get used to it. But it appears now, if I had to guess, that he's going straight to Mercedes. So that's the impact. Otherwise, I feel like they would have signed Sainz for a 2-year deal, a 1-year deal. And then, of course, Antonelli would have gone to Williams. But that's just my guess. But Carlos Sainz, big deal for him to finally get a contract signed. And then as for Williams, as I said, a really good deal for them to get a high-quality driver in Carlos Sainz. So let me know what your thoughts are. We will do another NASCAR championship case today. We'll talk about Ryan Blaney. Thank you guys for watching this video. It's been a wild year in F1, from Hamilton going to Ferrari to George Russell getting disqualified to having, 7 different winners this year all of a sudden. It's been quite the time in F1.